Hey there. I thought I'd do a Skyrim appreciation post because Skyrim is one of my special interests. I have played that game so many hours. I have different characters. Um, a couple of them are always end up doing the same thing, but I've been doing kind of a different run through this time. But I just felt like talking about Skyrim because I haven't really just felt really passionate about talking about anything else. I think that part of that is because I feel like talking about Skyrim, and it may not appeal to as wide of an audience, but so what? Um, and so I've been playing a lot of Skyrim over the last couple of months, and as part of my hibernation mode, staying inside, staying warm, and staying cozy. And so I noticed a few things while I was playing this time around, and that is that I really like having Mercurio as a follower because he talks quite a bit, and sometimes that kind of helps to fill the empty, emptiness, the silence. And so he has a little more dialogue than other followers. And so I have him as my follower, and I made him steward of my house. And since he seems to always be interested in the Dwemer stuff, I've got my little trophy room full of dwarven spiders and spheres, and keep putting Dwemer artifacts into his cabinets in his room. And that's because he wants to take him back to the university at Cyrodiil to study. So I think about how I play video games, and it's just maybe not how everybody plays video games. I don't know. But so I've noticed a big difference between the way I play Skyrim and the way I play Assassin's Creed. Like in Assassin's Creed, yeah, I love being an assassin in Assassin's Creed. It'd be silly if I didn't. And plus, the people that you're knocking off, they're bad. They are, and you know it. And so I have no problem with that. But in Skyrim, I did one playthrough where I joined the Dark Brotherhood because I did one playthrough after I did this. So oopsie. My second husband liked playing Skyrim, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it. I bought it for him for Christmas because I was like, oh, this looks cool. And so I watched him play hours of it, and I was really interested in it. And I would ask all kinds of questions and stuff. And so when I started playing it, he was watching me play and giving me pointers and stuff. So I get to the point where I'm at the little shack with Astrid and the 3 prisoners she has tied up there. And she's telling me I have to make a choice. And I was like, well, who am I supposed to pick? Which one's the bad one? He's like, well, they're not like any of them like really bad. It's just, you just have to pick one. And I was like, so I quick save. And I turn around and attack Astrid. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I was like, well, she's the only one in this room I know is bad. She's the one I know is bad because she is for one thing, she kidnapped me and took me to a shack in the middle of nowhere. And she's got these other 3 people kidnapped, and she's telling me to kill 1 or more of them. So, yes, she is the only bad one in that, or is the worst one in that room. So that's what I did. He was like, I didn't even know you could do that. This was several years ago. But that was my first run through. So I did not end up being an assassin on that one. But he kept telling me, oh, it was fun. And I was like, okay. So I did another playthrough where I did that. Joined the Dark Brotherhood. And I didn't like it. I did not like it at all. Because every single person that hires you, they have stupid reasons. Like the one girl that doesn't, she's mad at her boyfriend or whatever. And then it's like, this is all really dumb. I know that boyfriend stole somebody's Aegisbane, the freaking Warhammer or whatever. But really, is that really a good reason? Just, but if you go in there for that same place for another quest, you still have to get the guy, but it's because he's attacking you. But yeah, I don't like being an assassin in Skyrim. That's not fun. And I don't like joining the Thieves Guild. That was another one I heard all about. And I'm like, why do people want to join and, hear all the fuss about Brynjolf? And I'm like, this guy's just like a freaking narcissist who's got a bunch of people doing what he wants. Why would I want to work for this guy? So I went, after I had joined them and went through some of the stuff, when you go to get the Nightingale armor, before you officially sell your soul to whatever Daedra that is, you get the Nightingale armor. And then you're supposed to click, accept or whatever the thing. So I was given the Nightingale armor. Brynjolf and what's her name or they're just standing in there. And I just take off with the armor. See ya. So on one of my games, Brynjolf is still in that cave. He hasn't left. He's still in there. Oh, but so on my playthrough, there's this little girl in Windhelm, and she's like sleeping on the street in that cold ass city. And I'm like, oh man, that sucks. And she's one of the adoptable ones, so I'm like, okay, I read that this one's bugged. You have to buy all her flowers in order to give her a gift, or it's too heavy. And so I buy all her flowers and I adopt her and I take her, to the house, and she's there with Uncle Valdemar and Uncle Mercurio. And she brings home a fox. And she's like, can I keep it? I'm like, heck yeah, kiddo. Now you can keep that fox. Good job. That's exactly what I would expect from my adopted kiddo. But then I gave her like a couple of things. Like gave her a wooden sword. So she's walking around with her wooden sword. But a new dress, and a wooden sword. And now her inventory is too heavy. And I can't give her anything else. And she keeps asking me if I brought her a present, and I feel terrible. Like, I feel awful. Like, no, not this time. Aww. Sorry. I'll just put it in your chest with the other stuff. Make it count. But, so one day I was trying to sneak around and see if I could pickpocket her and just put a gift in her inventory. It doesn't work. So, but while I was trying to do that, Mercurio was like, get away from her. So he was doing a good job. And also, I had joined the companions again, and there was a bugged quest. And so I had to go beat up some guy on a boat, and the guy on the boat is inside the boat, and it's his boat, and I can't get him to come out onto the deck so that I can beat him up without it being a crime. Because, I guess if it's in his property or whatever, it's a crime, but it's not outside. So I tried, and they all attacked me, so I defended myself, and I went back to Yorvasker, and Farkas is the one that sent me on the quest, and he was like, I tell him what happened, so he's like, sure as bones, girl. And it just cracked me up because I'd never heard him say that. But because he was disappointed in me, I went through and I read what to do with that quest. So there I was, trying to jump out the door while the guy's talking to me over and over and over so that I can get him to glitch outside the door onto the deck so that I can legally beat him up. And I had to wait for him to punch me a few times first for it to, count. For some reason, I tried it the first time, taking a swing first, and you have to wait for him to take the swing. At least get a few punches in before you go back or hit him back. And so, yeah, I've just been playing lots of Skyrim, and yeah, it's been pretty fun. But I think that it's about to be spring, so there's not going to be a whole lot of Skyrim playing come spring. Today was a beautiful 70-something degree day, and yeah, I've still got on a holiday shirt, but it's really a heavy metal holiday shirt, and it doesn't count. But so it was 76 degrees today, and I went for a nice walk outside in the sunshine, and it felt so good. It was really nice. So I got 3 walks in today, and so I think that sunshine has been one of the things that I need for sure. And so I'd been kind of kind of locked up about running. I was getting in my own head too much about starting that again. Since I hurt myself, I was afraid that if I didn't let it heal long enough, that if I ran too soon, I'd re-hurt it. And then it was like I was kind of just dreading running, and then finding out the hard way that I'd hurt it way more than I thought I had, or hurting it again immediately by trying to run on it. But that made me realize that I really struggle with transitions, because part of the issue has been trying to get myself motivated to start running again while it's so cold. And I mean, it's been a little warmer the last few days, but I finally last week got back on the treadmill, and I just realized that I was really struggling, not just because of the anxiety, surrounding like the injury, but the transitions. Things are just like, I'm realizing that I just really struggle with transitions. And so